Hey everyone, this is Rochelle and welcome to Multiple Passive Streams of Income. Let's start from the beginning. I bought a course from Phil Covington and part of his offer was to give a product selection for an additional fee. I purchased that offer and here's the product that resulted from it. So I went to Alibaba, determined the product may be profitable, ordered samples, narrowed it down to one supplier, and I decided to bundle the product. Now let's discuss all the mistakes at this point. Mistake number one is I didn't really like the product. I thought it was a great concept, and if it worked, it definitely solved an issue for dog owners, but I'm not sure all dogs could utilize it as advertised. Some reviews stated that the dog didn't like the smell of the product. Other reviews stated that the dog ripped it up in one chewing. So I was a little bit concerned about the returns and the refund rate of the product. But because I was beginning and I didn't know how to select products, I figured, well, let me just try it. Mistake number two is I didn't do a patent search, and that was a big mistake. I looked on Amazon and I saw hundreds of this product being sold. And when I searched Alibaba, there were more than 20 suppliers selling it. So I assumed it was okay to sell. I just wanted to get a product to Amazon so I could learn how to navigate through Amazon's procedures and eventually try some pay-per-click campaigns. I figured it wouldn't be profitable, but I wanted the experience, so I'm selling this product starting in May, and all the sales are unprofitable because of the high PPC spend. But without PPC, I'm getting no sales. And with PPC, I'm getting some sales, but they're all unprofitable. But having the product on Amazon allowed me to experiment with all of the different types of PPC strategies. So by January 12th, I created a removal order for Amazon to destroy 380 sets. I had originally ordered 500. I sold 120 of them, and that was between the period of May to January. But again, like I said, all of the sales were unprofitable. So on January 13th, I get this message from Amazon stating they were removing the listing because a temporary restraining order issued by a federal court was presented to them by someone holding a patent on the product. Now, at first I wasn't alarmed because I was in the process of destroying the remaining inventory. The listing was already inactive because there was no inventory to sell. The Amazon message also stated disbursements from the seller account would be placed on hold as well. Now, I misinterpreted that part, figuring they would hold any unpaid sales from that product. And I didn't have any unpaid sales because the sales were very few when I stopped doing PPC. I contacted the patent holder's attorney, and the settlement amount was more than 10 times the amount that I sold on Amazon. The only reason I'm not giving you the exact numbers is that the settlement agreement states that I cannot discuss the settlement amount. So I have to be a little tight-lipped on the exact details. But I explained to them how many I sold, which I just told you was about 120 sets. I presented a counter offer that multiplied the amount sold by the potential profit margin, and it was a lot lower than what they wanted. So I also added some additional money on top of it to account for any court fees, and they eventually counter offered half of their original offer, but it was still more than 5 times my offer. So in the meantime, in mid-February, my next product arrives at Amazon. In about a week of running PPC, I'm getting sales more easily. I'm moving to page 1 on 2 of my main keywords. And I'm noticing the payments are not available and they're in this hold state. But I'm thinking, well, maybe Amazon is just holding the funds for 30 days to make sure there aren't a flurry of returns. because the product was selling well and they have no history of returns for this new product. After a month goes by, the payments remained in hold. So I called Seller Central Support. They explained my funds will not be released until a settlement is reached with the patent holder. Now, trying to be fair in my opinion, I want to analyze this entire Amazon situation. Now, I've read about lawsuits where Amazon was sued for allowing items with trademarks or copyrights or patents. They allow them to sell on the platform. Amazon's stance is they are a platform that joins buyers and sellers together, and it's the seller's responsibility to do the due diligence to ensure that the product they decide to sell doesn't infringe on any protected products. It also seems when protected products are infringed upon and patent holders present legal documentations for these products, they immediately remove the listing to prevent any additional sales. And that's fine, but here's where my anger starts. Amazon is one of the richest companies in the world. As soon as a product sells on Amazon that is protected, whether it's by a trademark, a copyright, or a patent, Amazon should have the ability to flag these products. I'm not saying you're going to catch every product, but I'm quite sure you can catch at least 90% of these products that infringe upon this protection. All the similar products use the same keywords. They're listed in the same categories. They basically look the same. So it wouldn't be hard for Amazon to identify possible bootleg products and flag them from the beginning. Next, removing the listings of the product to prevent future sales is the right thing to do. But to hold proceeds from an unrelated product is, in my opinion, unethical. In the same respect that Amazon argues they are a platform that joins sellers and buyers, they unethically make themselves the judge and jury on your future payments. Legally, they shouldn't have the right to hold payments, just as the patent holder has to prove their case in court, which produces documentation to present to Amazon to remove the listings. Let the court decide what the settlement will be, and let the collection of that settlement be handled by the court in the form of a judgment. Amazon shouldn't have the power to hold payments. And lastly, Amazon didn't close my account and allowed me to ship the new product to Amazon and sell it with PPC campaigns and everything. But that's like putting me in jail for selling drugs and then allowing me to sell drugs to inmates in the jail and then hold the money from the drug sales. What? Now, obviously, I'm very fortunate and blessed that Amazon didn't just close the account. But you have to understand, if you're allowing me to sell and you're holding the payments, there's something wrong with that picture as well. Once I realized all my sales from the new product wouldn't be released by Amazon, and Seller Central Support had no answers and they will not transfer you to the department that sent the original message, I decided to email the Amazon email that was provided in the message they sent me about the temporary restraining order. And that email address is notice-dispute@amazon.com. I explained I created a removal order a day before receiving word of a patent. I had no sales of that product after receiving their message. So I complied with the temporary restraining order, and I questioned how they can hold the proceeds from the sale of an unrelated product. Needless to say, nothing. They never responded back. So I called seller support again, and the rep basically stated Amazon is going to respond to the patent holder submission of the agreement, and the payments will remain on hold until they receive word from the patent holder. So at this point, I'm at my wit's end. I had reordered product for the unrelated product. because sales were doing well. And I knew as I optimized my PPC and increased my page one positions on more keywords, I would be selling out soon. So now what can I do? I can keep selling, but there's no resolution to getting the money released. So I Googled Amazon seller attorney. I started reading reviews, and I actually found attorney Eid by reading a bad review of another attorney. I emailed attorney Eid at info@amazonsellers.attorney, and I hired him after asking many questions about the process. I wanted to know how these situations pan out, how long it takes, what happens if the settlement occurs. I was just scared that Amazon was going to close my account. And if they did, what kind of recourse would I have? What I appreciated was he never guaranteed any results. He explained possible outcomes and what plans of action could be taken as a result of each outcome. So he started working on the case on about mid-April. So he collected all the info from me about the patented product, like how many I sold, how much did I sell the product for, all the correspondences between the patent holder's attorney and I, all the correspondences between Amazon and I. And then he crafted a heavily infused copyright law email to the patent holder's attorney. Now, they tried to give him the same offer they presented me. He replied with a stern, no more paralegal responses email. He basically said, have an attorney contact him. So it turns out the settlement ended up being 1/5 of the first settlement offer. Now, I did have to wire the money, which I did not have because that attorney wouldn't accept the credit card. I was able to borrow the money, thank God, to make the wire transfer because I didn't have the money. All the money that I was expecting to get from the sale of this second product was being held by Amazon, so I don't have that money. So once I was able to borrow the money, I got proof of the payment. I sent it to attorney Eid. He contacted the patent holder's attorney, and they basically said they would contact Amazon and release the temporary restraining order. 2 days later, I received a message from Amazon stating the hold was taken off my account, and it looks like they didn't close my account, so I am extremely grateful for that. Subsequently, I had a patent search completed for my latest product to ensure that I never travel down this road again. And thankfully, this product seems to be clear of any patents. Now, I know as a new seller, the initial investment is daunting, especially when you're not even sure or confident the product is going to sell. Do not assume because the product is being sold by droves of sellers on Amazon and heaps of suppliers are manufacturing it on Alibaba that the product isn't patented. As you can see with my product, it was patented and there were droves of sellers selling it and still selling it, and there are people still manufacturing it on Alibaba. If you search Amazon right now, you'll see other sellers selling this same product. In the lawsuit against me, at least 150 other sellers were named in the lawsuit. So if 150 of us had our listings removed and there's about 7 more pages of sellers on Amazon as we speak, the product holder will be going after them as well. In fact, I don't think the patent holder even sells the product. Now, before you think I'm crazy, I think this may be a case where the patent holder sues others as a business. I mean, think about it. This lawsuit named over 150 sellers. And let's say they reached an agreement with 100 of the 150 sellers for $1,000. That's $100,000 minus attorney and court fees right there. My settlement was way more than $1,000. So imagine the money the patent holder is receiving just from filing against Amazon sellers. Also, they know not only can they get your listing removed, they can get Amazon to freeze your money. So you have to get it resolved to resume selling on Amazon. This is better than settling in court. In court, you have to achieve a judgment, but getting that judgment paid is a beast. You have to be able to locate that person's bank account and have the bank place a hold on it, or you have to try to get a payroll deduction if you can locate their employer, if they even have an employer, and get the court to enforce it. It's a lot easier to do it in conjunction with Amazon. Listen, I'm not mad at the patent holder, because if I was a patent holder, I would try to enforce it too. I don't know how fair I would be as a patent holder. I mean, would I consider what sales occurred, meaning all sellers are not equal, when evaluating how many sales were taken from me? I mean, would I then just try to give the seller a warning at the beginning to stop selling the product at first? And if they continue, then proceed with legal action? I mean, in my case, I was never notified of a patent until the lawsuit was created. So I was never given a chance to stop selling the product. Of course, I'm mad. I didn't have an option. And many thousands of dollars later, I paid for being an unknowledgeable beginning Amazon seller. And if you're thinking, I'll just open up another Amazon account, it's not that easy. You need another person's personal information. You need a different address, a different telephone number, different bank account, different credit card. You can't log in to a new account or establish a new account from the same IP address or the same device. Obviously, some people have more than one Amazon account, but it's not easy to do this. And Amazon is implementing more measures to reduce these accounts. Also, I had already started selling another product, and it was a very unique product. And I'll put a link to a video where I go into details about differentiating your product, because product selection is the most important skill you can learn to be successful with Amazon white labeling. So I was in a really bad position because I was already selling a unique product. So it would have been pretty easy to connect selling this product on another Amazon seller's account. Important. Make sure you do a patent, copyright, trademark search. Yes, you can use the U.S. patent search website. You can use Google Patents, but having a professional do it will ensure the results. The one thing I could say is that patent searches are really hard because there's so many patents, there's so many likenesses of existing products. It just would ensure better results if you have a professional do it. So I'm just recommending that once you really get into this, you really need to really get a professional to do this patent search. If you're doing Amazon and you need resources, you may find this channel useful for help and suggestions. Once my inventory is restocked, I'm going to continue to document all that I do as an ongoing case study. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when I upload new videos. Thanks for your time, as I know you could be any other place right now. Take care.